Turn on all my lights. This is Nicki Sun from TechNicki Speaking, here with a gear recommendation. A wireless microphone system that not only plugs into your camera, but also to your phone and computer. What do you think?
That's dope!
You're zooming in on me. And at the same time, I have no director or cameraman.
Right now, you're like Asian Daenerys in my mind.
I've always been the mother of cameras.
I love technology. When other women see us in front of the camera, they're inspired to do it too.
This has been Nicki Sun with Gals and Gear at NAB Show Live.
Nicki's an amazing entrepreneur slash content creator slash female director slash cinematographer slash Asian ambassador.
She's talking about choosing the right camera for the job.
Woo! Definitely.
She's amazing.
That was it for this episode of TechNicki Speaking. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hello everyone and welcome back to NAB Show. It's the first day of NAB Show and I'm so thrilled to be here. Welcome to TechNicki Speaking by Nicki Sun. I'm your host Nicki Sun, and for the next week I am taking over the NAB Amplify Studio stage. I have a live audience, so if you're watching right now on nabshow.com or actually just touring this floor right now, be a part of the live studio audience every day from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have amazing guests. We're going to be talking all things gear, all the excitement, all new innovations, releases, right here live, and I'm gonna go over some gear demonstrations as well. So again, we're going live every single day this week. Sunday today, I have a very, very special guest, Jen Pichette, and I'm so excited to dive deeper into her world-renowned Overwatch commentating series because I've never played Overwatch before, and I figured I'd get all the lowdown, all the details, all the gear that she uses when she live streams on Twitch in person with her today. Also on Monday, I have Rocky Nash and Aaron Parecki talking about live streaming. They're gonna bring all their live streaming gear to the table. We're gonna go over how you're gonna set up live streaming at home. And then on Tuesday, I have Miss Valentina V, who's an incredible director, cinematographer that's gonna be coming here to talk about what she's doing here at this show, because I think between her and Adobe, I think she has sessions like every single hour of the day. So I'm very, very grateful that she's been taking the time to sit down with me. And then on the last day, we have a very Women Crush Wednesday happening with the team of NAB Show influencers who have been tasked to go around the show floor, capture content, and be on NAB Show, the live stream. So if you're just tuning in now, be sure to come back every day, 11 to 12. We're gonna be here, NAB Studio, the Amplify Studio, so you can be a part of the live audience. I have prizes to give away and some really, really cool guests. So to kick it off, I would like to introduce my first guest of the show. You may see her on Twitch streaming for hours, but she is now the official Overwatch lead commentator. Please welcome Jen Pichette.
Hi, so great to be here, Nicki. Great to meet you as well, first time.
I know, it's such an awesome time, and I hear that you are also the official host for the NAB Amplify stage. How does it feel?
Good. It's my first time here at the NAB show, so it's been great to go, and on my off time, I get to go explore at the convention. It's been great, and then as people are doing their panels and interviews here, I get to introduce them, and I have some panels that I'm moderating, so it's been a great experience to be overwhelmed by all types of tech.
And as I heard correctly, this is your first NAB show?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, well welcome. What took so long?
I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know, actually. I didn't know.
But you're here now.
Yes.
And that's all that matters.
New fan.
I know. Well, tell us a little bit about what you've experienced at the show so far. I know it just opened, but I hope that you've been able to tour around and get the feel of the stage. What tips do you have, first of all, speaking on this stage? What should I be mindful of?
Tripping. Tripping over things. I'm not sure if you have heels on, but I do. So tripping hazards everywhere.
Oh, honey, I'm behind a stage for a reason. I have no shoes and socks on right now. This is life. I'm living right now.
It's great. It's quite a walk, though. At least there's coffee everywhere you can find. So
yeah.
it's great.
Well, tell me a little bit about you. I mean, you go by the gamer tag. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
I feel like a little dated here, but is that your gamer tag? You have a LemonKiwi. So how did you get two fruits together, and are those two of your favorite fruits combined?
Let's say second favorite fruits. I was trying to go for strawberry kiwi because as gamers, we all have these tags online, and I was trying to get strawberry kiwi. Turns out it's a very popular fruit combination, and it was not available. So Xbox at the time, 10 years ago, had suggested, oh, how about lemon kiwi? And I was like, send it. Just send it. So I went with that. Turns out 10 years later, people call me LemonKiwi, so I wish I put a little bit more thought into the name after that.
Well, are there any recipes with lemons or kiwis that you've had that you're like, that's it, this is it, fam?
This is why the branding, I wish I put more thought into the branding, because when you Google LemonKiwi, you get a bunch of fruit smoothies, diet tips, and stuff like that. So there's wins and losses there.
Yeah. Are we not about that life, though?
Yeah. I still haven't tried a LemonKiwi smoothie. They haven't sold me on it yet, but maybe one day.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll make a cake in the shape of a lemon and kiwi. Then it can be any flavor you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can get that on Rosanna Pansino show. But I feel like you're kind of far away, so I'm just going to do this weird thing. Why don't you come over here? Okay. I'll leave this mic here for us. I gave that couch initially to you so you can
I was comfortable. Now I'm less comfortable.
But, you know, we're going to talk about gear right now.
Okay.
Speaking of which, the first thing we have is this pocket tripod.
I know, I want one.
Yeah, right? Well, I can show you, like, what this is. So,
oh.
Yeah. We can open one together. Here, Jen. Let's pick which one.
Oh, there's colors.
Yes. So,
whoa.
For those at home, this is a pocket tripod by Geometrical. It's literally, well, first of all, what's the coolest thing you have in your wallet besides money?
That is really the coolest thing I have in my wallet. Maybe some old receipts. Is that cool?
I mean, do these old receipts mean something to you, Jen?
Just for taxes. I'm not that cool.
Okay,
Nicki.
wait, actually, we just did taxes, right? What is the biggest expense item you had to write off? And I say write off because it has to do with business-related items. So for you as, you know, an esports host, commentator, Overwatch, video game extraordinaire, what is the biggest, largest ticket item you had to write off for your taxes this year?
Oh, that desk. The desk with good wood is hard to come by, okay, when it comes to furniture. Besides that, cameras is a big write-off.
Okay, what camera did you get? We're here to name names.
Sony A7.
Okay.
I know it's got numbers to it, but there's big write-offs, so you gotta be big spending. Yeah, the big. I don't even know if that's expensive, but it's expensive for me. That was like my second DSLR camera.
It is a high-ticket item. And do you usually do a one-shot, or do you have, like, your monitor is one for your gameplay, and then you have your camera as your other monitor?
Oh yeah, I have 3 monitors. One with social media. It's just a Twitter monitor. But anyway, yeah, I have kind of this side angle. It's at like a side angle. I kind of like the side profile when I'm streaming. I tried this frontal view, but I looked really mean all the time. So for some reason, I look friendlier from a 45 degree. Anyway, so the camera's set up 45 degrees over.
Okay, do you prefer your left or your right side? I feel as hosts, you know, besides knowing all the gear that goes on behind, we also have to be mindful of our on presentation too. So I feel like we have multiple things to consider constantly. Yeah. Do you have a favorite side?
Yes. For some reason, my left eyebrow and left side of my face, you know the eyebrow that you tweeze less?
Like The Rock?
Yeah. So my left side has always been more sculpted. So it's always the left. It's like my friendly side and my mean side.
Okay, you got that jawline.
Yeah. We try.
Amazing. All right, so that's your biggest ticket item. Okay, that explains a lot. I usually ask that question because it usually explains a lot about what's going on in someone's life at that moment and what might bring you joy. What other tech brings you joy right now? And it doesn't have to be the things that you use. Is there something that you're like, wow, this really helped while we weren't at NAB, when I'm at home, when we were quarantining, like this piece of tech really advanced the way I felt being like in my space?
I think the right lighting made a huge difference. I was able to get like a green screen, and then with the right lighting, that looked perfect. So I was able to be floating in space or floating in the sky. And then I would add some spaceships. So you can make your camera look like you're flying in a spaceship with the right green screen, the right lighting. And then if beyond just very fancy wow tech for my stream, I like a good RGB keyboard. I love my rainbow lit up keyboard. I'm still 12 about that.
Okay, which one do you use? Which brand?
It's a duck. I got a duck. It's like a fancy gaming brand. It's like $100 for this keyboard, but it's worth like every penny.
You just leave it on, just like RGB lights. Does
Yes.
it cascade like a rainbow?
Yes, you could do like a waterfall. There's like different settings. You can have it when every time you smash any button, it lights up. So when you're playing intense games, it's like, it looks like a disco rave. It's awesome.
Ugh. Okay, I have to ask. I have so many questions about the Twitch world, the live streaming world, the gaming world, because it's so new to me, right?
Yeah.
So, what got you interested in gaming, and then what drew you to Overwatch? Like, can you describe your journey and progression of games, and how does one continue playing and then realize, oh, I can actually make money from this? Or was that even a factor at all?
Well, like pre-pandemic, like 3-year-old me, which was many years ago, when it was encouraged to go outside, I was like, no, actually, I'm gonna stay inside because I don't have to talk to people and I can play Super Mario all day. So that's what I did. And then just gamed was an easy passion to just get into. Bought my first console when I had my first job at like 14 years old at Tim Hortons. Little Canadian me buys an Xbox.
That's Canada.
It's
Okay,
a very Canadian origin story.
Okay.
And yeah, I just gamed, and then I was playing a lot of Call of Duty, which then developed into Overwatch because someone told me, oh, Overwatch is like Call of Duty. There's guns and shooting people. And then got into Overwatch and wanted to be a player, like a professional player, which is a career these days. And then I found out while I was going through university for biomedical sciences, I was like, this is too much work to be a professional gamer and trying to be a doctor. So then at the time I was like, what about commentating? And then here I am. The little shorter end of the story.
Okay, the commentating, does that come from when you're on Twitch? You have the audience to consider, right? So you're not only concentrating on gaming, but you're talking at the same time. And it's an art, it's a skill, it's a talent.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you go from, I'm just gonna play and all of a sudden invite random strangers from all around the world into my life and be a part of my, like, at home kind of thing?
My mom was not a fan. I definitely got a lot of stranger danger talks as a kid because I had my bestest of friends were across the world, and you know, maybe 14-year-old to 20-year-old me was like, Mom, can I have plane tickets to go see my friends on the other side of the world? And she was like, definitely not. You don't know if these people will kidnap you. So I was like, okay, fair enough. And eventually when I was 18, I was able to go visit people. But honestly, the closest friends I have are from all over the world. And thanks to technology and gaming to connect us, I have friendships all over the world, and that means a lot.
Wow. And then from being originally from Canada and you moved here.
Yeah.
You said 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Tell us that story. Why Vegas?
So remember when I said I make relationships online? Well, I actually met my boyfriend online through social media because, funny enough, I was asking for tech advice. I was like, I want to have someone help me build a computer and come up with all these parts because doing it yourself is very complicated. And my boyfriend, who is an IT person who builds computers, was like, hey, honey, I'll do that for you. I don't know what kind of pickup line he used. And then he built my first...
honey?
I don't...
Sounds very old school.
It sounds weird,
Hey, honey.
but it was very attractive about how much he knew about computers at the time.
Okay.
And he built my first computer, which ended up being my first streaming computer.
Amazing.
And then, you know, I upgraded since then because it's been many years now. And then I moved in with him 5 years ago, and here I am at the NAB Studio, at least sounding like I know what I talk about because of him.
Well, that's incredible. What a journey. And so you said that your boyfriend also streams too?
He's just a gamer. He doesn't like being on camera as much
Okay.
as I do.
So he's in the background while you're like talking about all these things.
He's used to me yelling around the house, basically.
So how does he feel about you being in like the world of gaming, and in addition, kind of taking ownership as like an official Overwatch League commentator? I mean, first of all, that is freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just in the level of gaming, I know within tech, within filmmaking, I mean, part of the reason why I have a tech show is because when I come to conventions like this before, I was like, where are all the women?
Yeah.
You know, but we exist, and so I would love to hear your experiences, you know, as a woman too, and then being in the space to be the voice for gaming. And it doesn't matter because you are a woman, it's like you are the best person for the job. So how does gender, if anything, has it affected or played a part in your gaming life?
Well, to start the Overwatch journey, at least, it was actually my boyfriend that introduced me to Overwatch. So then I bought the game to play with a cute guy, and then it turned into this awesome career. But it wasn't an easy journey to get to that point, because even just gaming online, like outside of having a career commentating, gaming can be a really toxic place for women. And, a lot of women don't use voice chat, communicate online. And I was able to make a lot of friends through just us kind of needing to stick together and create those safe spaces. And then when I actually started to get like more of a career in commentating and hosting, there were just so few of us that we just gravitated towards each other, and we were able to just be really close in that way. But in terms of challenges, at least gaming, there's the toxicity of just people putting you down all the time. But when it comes to career, gender is seen, like we have certain roles in the industry, like there's a lot more female hosts that are hired, and diversity is a big important thing, and sometimes it gets too focused on, so sometimes you only get hired for your gender, or sometimes you don't get hired because of your gender, and it's such an important thing. Yes. But there's been a lot of challenges to even me not being taken seriously in the space because of my gender and stuff like that. So there was a lot of hurdles and things I had to let go of and not be so upset about, and grow a really thick skin in this space being a woman.
That's incredible. So what does it mean to you to be an official Overwatch League commentator?
It's been actually a dream of mine. I've been working on this for 5 years, and I just got promoted like a week or something ago. And I was like the first woman commentator for BlizzCon for Overwatch, and that was a big pave to do. I could tell that not a lot of people were used to a woman's voice when it comes to commentating, because it's just like sports where people are used to hearing men on the mic. And especially I'm a play-by-play, so which means I have to get loud. I'm the hype person who, same thing as sports, when you hear someone get really hype, it's the same thing in competitive gaming. When an explosive play happens, you have to get really excited. And people are never used to seeing a woman get loud and exciting, and it was tough getting a lot of criticism, which actually ended up being very sexist, of this woman is too loud and screechy. And I still have a pretty deep voice as a woman, so I still got really harsh feedback. But I had to pave that way for myself, but I also had a lot of people to look up to, women or women that have done this career in the past, and without that representation from them, I wouldn't have thought this was possible. And I'm glad that I look up to them, and they still support me to this day. And now I have women that look up to me, and we're all kind of doing this cycle of we continue that journey.
Yes. This is what I'm here for. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I mean, going back when you were getting criticism, or to maybe a message for those who are in gaming and are facing that, facing online bullying, how would you best address it now? Or any advice you can give to those who are online, what do you call it, e-flaming?
E-flaming.
Is it e-flaming when they're tight behind an anonymous name?
Just roasting, I don't know. It kind of depends what age you are. I think the younger ages, we take things a lot to heart, and we're easily influenced. So I definitely think if you have a teenager or a young child at home, to just not join any kind of voice chat and kind of avoid social media, because there isn't a great just a filter on these games and social media. There's a report system, but you still receive the comment before it gets taken away. So I would say just avoid it until you're ready to accept it, I guess. And then once you are maybe old enough to face bullying, because bullying happens all over, not just online. So just having a good support system, honestly, of either if you're young, you have your parents that you can be open to talk to, at least for me now that I'm grown, just having friends that will give me the right opinion, the correct opinion about me, and then have people that you can listen to. So if someone says your XYZ insults, it's not true. But honestly, if you're not comfortable joining a voice chat, don't. But honestly, taking that first step of, I always say hello in voice chat, just get some feelers out, because you never know, people could be really nice. And try it out, and if it's not for you, then just don't join.
Well, amazing advice. And I would say just tying it into being here at NAB Show, which is the home of innovation and technology and broadcasting media and entertainment. What is most exciting for you being at this show? What are you looking forward to seeing or exploring, or just trying to incorporate it into your own live streams?
There's definitely certain booths I want to check out of programs or just equipment that I already use. I use vMix a lot for remote broadcasts, for gaming broadcasts. We use a lot of vMix to try and get all the feeds together. And I know Sony is here, and all types of cameras that I use are here. So definitely want to check that out. But also there's some equipment that I didn't know could exist, like technologies that exist that I didn't know were so advanced. There's so many nice screens, and I know like maybe the film and the news industry is a little bit removed from what I do, but I still want to check out like how can someone on the news appear like they're actually in a hurricane, or the movies, what kind of expensive cameras they use, because I think I do get exposed to very expensive equipment every now and then, but I never get to play with it, or not play with it, but I never get to get that close to it or really truly understand how it works. And the fact that I can just walk up to a booth here and ask questions is really cool, and everyone's really friendly here, surprisingly, really sociable, so it's awesome.
It's also been 3 years since the last in-person NAB, so I feel like we're just all feeling like tingly and like, hi, hi, hi.
So true.
I mean, you're so used to being at home by yourself, right? So is there gear that has allowed you to connect? You mentioned the vMix, your cameras, the Sony a7 III. I'm assuming that it would be, you're like, there's some numbers. I'm like, it might be the 3.
Yeah, the 3-1, yeah.
And then for your audio and all that stuff, do you, like, walk us through your gear if you can?
Okay, so I have an Elgato green screen. It's really cool. It's like a it's like
it pulls out?
It pulls out.
So you can take it anywhere?
Yes.
So you can like move around in your room?
Yes. So I'll have my normal office background, and I'll put like a funny picture of like a clown or something. And if something funny happens, I'll pull up the green screen with the clown face on it. And it ends up being like a fun little prop that I can use. So besides that silliness, you know, I have my light up mouse. I have a light up keyboard, the Ducky keyboard, and the mouse is, I'm forgetting the brand. It's some gaming mouse though. I'm sure it's great.
HyperX. Like
oh, it's got like an Iron Man looking logo on it.
Okay.
They're not here, so I'm not butchering any brands. So,
yeah.
And
LemonKiwi's Iron Man, you know, who knows?
My microphone is something that's been a journey in itself. I started with like a USB Yeti back in the day, and that.
Okay.
And then I upgraded to a Rode USB mic, and then that's when people are like, oh, USB mics, you know, you could do better. So then I got like the Go XLR from TC Helicon, I think is the company, and then there's a Shure SM7B. I think maybe Shure is here, the brand, I'm not sure, but fancy
You're not
stuff.
Sure.
And then
sorry, I'm all about puns if you get my name.
And I got like 2 huge Pelican cases from Overwatch League full of equipment that I'm still setting up and figuring out. I have like Elgato key lights. Those were really important because I never knew how important lighting was, because I'm like, oh, let's get a light bulb from Walmart. And then no, the equipment world, the tech world is teaching me how all the different types of lights and then the colors of the lights. And it's been an overwhelming experience to upgrade my setup to not a Dollar Tree looking background.
Well, it looks amazing. Have you also incorporated this input of smart tech? Like, can you automate anything like, okay, insert brand, like turn on all my lights?
I have, I bought these lights in my room that like glow different colors, and I have an app on my phone that I can press on and off. Do you have like any cool tech? I feel like you have to show me some tech. What do I have to upgrade here, Nikki?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that. So
I'm glad you asked. Segue.
Yeah, you know. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Amazon, I go live, and it's like part educational, part QVC. So I decided I'm going to bring some of this, like my show, to the NAB Amplify Studio area. So with me, I actually have some gear, and throughout the week, tomorrow specifically, we're talking about live streaming. But just to give you a hint, this is the YOLOBox Pro. So it's a multicam switcher that allows you to plug up to 3 full HDMI cameras.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were showing me this earlier, and I was like, it looks like it could hold a Switch or a tablet, but this is something you can stream with.
It's really just this monitor right here, but then my good friend Aaron Parecki, who is going to be on my show tomorrow with Rocky Nash, actually cloud 3D printed this cage and sent it to me. Because I was like, I want to bring it to NAB and see if I can actually go live streaming on the floor after this. And so I needed a shoe mounts, you know, because you need mounts to add your lights, your audio, and all that stuff. And as you can see, the YOLOBox didn't really have it. So Erin has 3D cloud printed the Blackmagic A10 Mini, the YOLO Box Pro cages, so you can now attach and bring it on your camera when you go on the show floor. So I can even imagine you as a Twitch streamer, you know, I mean, if you needed to go remote, like in a hotel and need to like add all these things, you could do this too, right? You can put up to 3 like camera inputs, full HDMI. I'll just bring some cords out. I'm a visual show and tell person. Yeah. Like, welcome to.
Oh, this is really light too.
Right? It's light. This is actually very, very light because it was 3D cloud printed. But I just get a couple of short. This one's by Small Rig, but like this is the full HDMI to HDMI cord. And so what would one do is you would just connect a camera, and then any one of these 3 outlets, you can plug it in, right? And then you can attach your camera here. I mean, I might as well just like unbox.
You just do the whole
stuff.
demo. I'm very. Give me the camera for dummies.
Yeah. Well, I use the Panasonic Lumix GH5. I started my obsession with the Lumix system since the GH2 days, and that's the thing about like camera and gear that I tell people. I get that question asked a lot, like, what camera should I buy? But it really just depends on what you're utilizing it for. Something that I use might not be something that you might want to use, but specifically because I go out and interview a lot of people. In the beginning, I really needed a flip-out camera or flip-out screen. And in the beginning, I will tell you, I'm so glad that technology and cameras have advanced, but in the beginning, not a lot of the cameras from like Canon or Sony had flip-out screens. It would only flip out maybe down here. But when I'm doing run and gun shoots and I'm in tight, small spaces, right, I want to be able to make sure that you and I are both in the screen, and so I needed that flip-out screen.
Like a selfie mode.
Without having to attach another monitor. I mean, yeah, you want to be as light as possible when you're on the go. But yeah, this one is great because this one has a full HDMI. The GH4 had a micro HDMI, but now this is like a full HDMI. But yeah, so I
think Panasonic Lumix was my first camera, and I remember being really affordable and easy to use. I think mine had the micro HDMI, and I remember the conversion of that. I had to figure that out, but this sounds way better.
Yeah, so this is a very, very short cable, but I got it for the reason of putting it on top.
Of course.
And so I would have to switch out the tripod plate, but then I'd put it on top for the shoe mount. So I just wanted, you know, less cords. How many, do you have long cords for your setup at home?
The cable management, my boyfriend goes crazy trying to fix that. He has all kinds of little stickers and stuff to put on. But the short wire, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I like those short wires there. And then, you know, at the same time, you can like bring up like audio gear and stuff. So at the moment at home, I just use my, whatchamacallit, the Ceramonic Blink 500 Pro system. It's very light and they communicate with each other. Okay, there you go, perfect.
Oh, I see it.
I'm gonna show, I don't know how to show this on the audience, but like this is the YOLO box. And then you can like,
that's so cool.
So yeah, imagine doing up to 3 cameras though. So you can do up to 3 cameras, attach it to the YOLO box, and it has like a restream feature built in, so I can connect any RTMP because it's real-time messaging protocol, as we all know with our stream keys and stuff. I always get the 2 like switched up when I'm like talking about it, but it can take up to 3 RTMP codes. So you can enter Twitch, you can enter Facebook, you can enter YouTube, and when you press live, it goes live to all those platforms at the same time. So that's what I love about it.
That's cool. Is there like different scenes you can set up?
Yeah, you could do different scenes too. You can add B-roll. There's like an SD card input at the bottom, so it allows you to record it at the same time. So let's say when you're streaming, you can also record at a different output straight to the SD card. So when you want to edit afterwards, you don't have to go on like these third-party sites and download the content you did. It's already full high quality onto the SD card. And anything on the SD card, you have your pre-rolls, like my 1-minute intro, I put it all in here. So when I travel, I literally just click on it and I have my own program like on the go. So I love being able to bring this around because this one also has a monitor. I don't need to attach another monitor to it. Everything is streaming straight from this YOLO box. So
how long can you stream for on this thing?
You can. I've never tested limits. I've streamed for up to an hour every day, every Tuesdays on Amazon. But the cool thing about Amazon is like because it runs like a QVC show, you get the Amazon app, and I can load in the specific gear that I'm talking about into my carousel, so I can click on it. So when I'm talking about, let's say, the YOLO box, I can click on it from the app, and it'll show up on the screen.
Oh.
So as they're watching you on the phone, the gear that I'm talking about pops up on the bottom of the on your phone, and if you're watching it on the big screen, the gear comes up on the left side. So it's just fun. It's been fun live streaming, and you've been live streaming way longer than I have. I just started like this year, and since this year I've learned so much about different live streaming methods of use. So I'm so excited to bring on Aaron Parecki and Rocky Nash tomorrow because they are pro live streamers, and they're gonna bring their A10 Mini, their YOLO box, the Roland Aerocaster, and we're gonna have a gear fest.
Oh my God, the table's gonna be so full.
This is just the intro because I want it to be about you, but I just wanted to showcase some stuff. And then yesterday in my hotel room, I went to, like, have you gone to any NAB parties yet?
No.
We went to an NAB party, shout out to Pro Light and Act Soon, but they sent me home to try this, but their Act Soon Cine i2S Pro, they have the 4 antennas, but I attached one of them to my camera, one of them to my YOLO box, and that, as you can imagine what that would do, is I would be wireless, and I'd be able to go on the show floor, not attached to my YOLO box, and I could literally go around and like.
So you could leave this here.
I could leave this here.
Oh, how far do you think it goes?
I believe this one is 1,200 meters, they said, which, so I was like, that's quite
deep,
far.
really good.
I mean, I could go from one end to the other. I mean, you know, granted, everybody's live streaming and going online, so I don't imagine the bandwidth being, I don't know, what it would be around
it's
here.
not tested.
You know, I'm trying to make their gear look good, but I tested it yesterday in my hotel room, just like hopping off of the hotel Wi-Fi, and the moment I got it to work, I recorded a video. It's on my TechNicki Speaking Instagram if you want to see it, but I did a video, and I'm like, whoa, this actually works. You know how that feeling is when you're like, wow, technology works? I still get that feeling every day.
I'm just happy if I have a day with no tech issues, but I'm honestly prone to breaking things really easily. Because that was going to be my next question. Can you tell if you're like dropping frames, or how can you tell something's going wrong with your stream on this thing?
You know, normally it won't even let you start if there's something's wrong. So last time I figured it out, it's because I'm just gonna be transparent about it. So I'm all about transparency on my show. So whether I like a product or I think there are improvements, I'll never say a product is like absolute, you know, bollocks. But like, I will be like, well, it would be awesome if they did this. So in particular with the Amazon app, I'm an Android user. I'm a Samsung user. They only have the app for the iOS users at the moment. So I've had to hack my way into the system.
Hacker mode.
I know. And hackers are good. Not all hackers are bad. But I've had to like hack into the system a little bit to make sure I can get it to work. And so it's been interesting with the level of technology. And so what I learned is because Amazon has to stream at a certain bit rate, sometimes it can lessen the bit rate for all the others. And so that's why for this show in particular, I had to take off Amazon because it would like lessen everything under 2,000 like kilobits per second. So I'm like, all right.
This is still like very light, and you can go remote, which is, that was going to be my next question, is like, how can you make this as remote as possible?
Yeah.
So that sounds like some good gear to pick up, absolutely.
So when I was thinking the last time I've covered shows, so after these shows, I also go around the show floor and like interview folks as well. And as a one-woman band, as you can imagine, you have to like not only take care of your appearance, but also, and like the mic and all the interviewing, but you have to set up the gear by yourself. I'm going around the show floor by myself. I really don't have an assistant sometimes, right? And so I actually got something that I'm really, really excited about. It's like a dolly for your tripod.
What?
I mean, you could get it for your light stand too, but let me just
It
roll this thing
rolls.
around. Let me just roll it around.
We'll make some room.
I know. Let me make room for this. But I was like, how do I make this as easy as possible? So you can get any tripod that you want, and I just like picked the lightest one that would fit in my backpack because I had this really nice one, but I'm like, it's so heavy, and the gear that you don't use, you just don't use it. It's just gonna be carrying around with me the entire time. So I had to really get light and all that stuff. So I got like the newer one, the brand newer, like I got their tripod dolly. And by the way, everything that I'm talking about today, if you go on NickiSun.com, just make sure you spell it correctly. It's NICKISUN.com. I have a list that says NAB Show, what was the gear. So everything that I'm talking about today or throughout this week will be in that list. So if you want to get the same exact gear that I have, it's on my Amazon shop page. And at the same time, disclaimer, your purchases support my channel at no additional cost to you. So just saying it out there right now. But I love this dolly, and I really like this specific tripod head because it has an available shoe mount on the side. And then what I do is essentially just...
Oh, it's that easy. It just clicks in and you just...
Yep.
Oh, I need this tripod. Mine has all types of clips, and then it's a little wobbly, and this one rolls, which is so cool.
Yeah, so you can get the dolly separate. So you can have any tripod that you have right now, or even a light stand if you have any three-legged thing, right?
Three-legged thing?
Any three-legged thing. You can adjust the leg stand and you can make it roll. So imagine now, instead of having to break down, collapse, and bring it from booth to booth as I do interviews, and probably you do interviews because we're on camera too, I can just roll, push and roll, interview, you know, and I could just, at the same time, I could also get little dolly shots too, right?
Like the B-roll is looking so crisp.
Yeah, I'm like, even if I went live, right? So I can put it on here, and instead of holding all this gear, it's like a rolling tripod, and you can make any tripod roll. So you were asking about how to make my gear as efficient as possible. After covering so many NAB shows and so many conventions, I'm like, this is the reason why I geek out about tech so much, because I'm always trying to find faster, stronger, like better solutions, and especially more efficient solutions. So
you can put like a string on this and have it follow you, like an actual cameraman's following you. But maybe they'll make this like automated one day, where it just like follows you, like those suitcases.
You're onto something, because I really wanted that suitcase that follows you.
Yes.
I was like a little weirdo. Like when I got picked up from the airport, I had 4 bags, right? And I swear, like half of them is for gear, and like one of them is just for the clothes. But if you can imagine, my Lyft driver was like, "Wow, you're staying a whole year?" And I'm like,
probably thought you just brought a bunch of clothes.
And that's so interesting because, you know, as a woman too, like no one expects me to have gear. So it's always funny. And so I was like, no, actually I'm here for the NAB show, and half of this is gear. And so when he was lifting it, he was like, this must be the gear. I'm like, well, actually that's the clothes.
Oh no. Yeah, when I got my Pelican boxes, they were impossible but thank God they brought Pelicans with like wheels, and it was like a little suitcase that I could roll into my house, but I had to dismantle it in my living room because I couldn't bring it upstairs by myself, so.
Yeah, and you know, when you get sent packages, sometimes it's so heavy, I have to like break it down before I bring it in. Cause I'm like, oh, I'm just one person. So, it's been really cool though. But
can I ask you about the microphone setup that you have for this?
Okay, so when I'm at home, I just want something like really easy. I haven't tried it in like a whole place like this, but let me show you the Ceremonic one that I have. Shout out to Ceremonic. Honestly, they're like amazing partners. Like anything I want to try, or they see my stream and they're like, oh, can you try this out? Or like, you would benefit from this. I love it when brands and companies, when we work with them, they actually want to work with you. It makes, you know, life and just this whole tech world like that much more rewarding and exciting.
It's really good feedback for them too.
Yeah, and they really asked for it. And so I'm like, oh, you know what? If you had shoe clips that actually clipped on the shoe mount, because last time they had one that didn't fit, so the next version, it now fits on there. So I feel like I was a part of that.
I helped.
Yeah, so this is the Blink 500 B2 kit, and it comes with 1 or 2. So it comes like this in a zipper case. I also gave feedback to like, maybe if we had a little bit more depth, I can like shove my cords in there and we can do that. But then if you take this out, you can charge this entire case as well, and it charges everything in here.
Oh, cool.
So with the USB-C, you just charge it, and then it lasts for up to 6 hours when you take it out. But then when you put it back in the case, it has another 10 hours that you can charge. So it's so portable, a lavalier system, right? So you have 2 transmitters, and for those of you who don't know, transmitters are like, will be essentially your mics.
Oh,
so you
okay.
have 2 mics. This is a 1 to 2, so essentially I can put one on you and one on me, and then it will record the audio and marry it to the video, so you don't have to do it in post.
Oh, that's I'm sold.
So,
thank you, Nicki.
You know, I just want to be able to like not have to make my life harder, which is why I love live streaming so much, because you think about production, how long does it take for you to produce a whole film, right? hours and hours, days, weeks, even years. But when you talk about live streaming, how long does it take? Well, besides the preparation, right? It's that hour because it's live and then it's recorded. And if you want to, afterwards, you can cut it up, re-upload it, and it's like, being, you know, then add little lower thirds, little graphics, all the, you know, the zhuzh on it, and there you go. But it's allowed me to make the process a lot faster. So the receiver end, you know, a lot of these kits come with the TRS to TRS cable. I mean, for visual sake, the TRS cable has 2 black lines, and the TRRS cable has 3. The only time you would ever need to use a TRRS cable is when you plug it into a phone and you want to get audio to your phone. So I just like will plug this into the line out, and then the line out would go into here. And since now that there's a shoe mount, I can put this here, or because Aaron has made this amazing cage with additional shoe mounts, I can put them on this other shoe mount over here. So that's the receiving end, so the audio would come in over here, and then I'd have this one for us, and then when you turn it both on, now it's like synced.
Oh.
And then if you want, there's a built-in mic on top, which is really, really strong. But if you want to turn it into a lavalier, you absolutely can.
Yeah, because it gets noisy in these places, right? So
but
is
these
this
actually
better?
pick up nice too. I always imagine too, like if you wanted to get 2 in 1, like let's say you're a musician, you have maybe a mic near your guitar, maybe a mic near your mouth. Like obviously there's mixers that you would want to use to get the actual quality sound. I'm just saying what's possible. So for an interview, I could put one on you, one on me, right? But at the same time, if you don't want to have it just like clipped to you like this, I can also turn it into a lavalier. It comes included, I just attach it. And then now this becomes like your little transmitter pack. So see how small that is? And then you just wire it up your shirt, and then now you have like a little lavalier.
See, that looks professional. That looks like you're part of like a news crew. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, my background has been in broadcast journalism. So since moving from broadcast journalism to hosting and covering a lot of marginalized voices in the entertainment community, I've now come back to hopefully help other content creators to do their own channels, because I really love the art and the content that people put in the world, because that's your story, it's your own unique perspective. And so like, if I can help amplify your stories by sharing the gear that I get to play with, because companies are so willing to send me stuff, why wouldn't I share that? So that's why I started my show, and I'm so glad I get to geek out with you on stuff like this.
I'm freaking out just from a streamer perspective. So can you see your mic levels on this thing and it syncs up automatically?
Yeah, you can do that over there. Once you turn it on, obviously you got to turn them both on, and then you would see the levels on this side as well.
That's so cool.
But I just love having like extra gear around. I feel like everyone around here, if I'm missing something, you know, we could ask each other, right? It's like, did you have an HDMI to HDMI cord? Like, yeah, you can borrow that. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll do an interview too. And so it's been really nice to be able to test out gear in that way.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking for a cell phone charging wire, and just 3 people were like, what kind? USB-C, you know, iPhone, whatever, and wow.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna get lost here.
The last thing I want to show you, and I would love for you to keep it, and I'm gonna give one away to somebody in the audience.
Ooh.
But again, I asked you what was the coolest thing in your wallet, right? You said money was probably the coolest thing outside of it. I was like, what if it was like a stamp card for boba, right? You know, you get 10 drinks, you get like 1 free. I don't even think they do those anymore.
Oh, I wish though.
But anyways, this now has become the coolest thing in my wallet. It is the Pocket Tripod Pro, and it's basically it's a tripod that fits in your wallet.
Yeah, you pulled this out, and I was like, what pocket was that in? You said my back pocket, and I was like, whoa, you just blew my mind.
And then I'm actually, because there was no monitor up here, I realized last minute while they were counting me down, and you saw, they're like 30 seconds, I'm like, let me get like a last minute tripod. So I now am watching the feed on YouTube on my phone on this desk, and I split apart the Pocket Tripod so I can like watch it up front here with me as well. So I'd like for you to pick a color.
Ooh.
We have Jasper, which is kind of like the color of my phone, like the mint green. We have, what is this? Panda, which is the white. We have a straight matte black, and then the magma red.
Oh wow, I get to pick anything?
Yes, this one's yours.
I
For
definitely
being my guest.
What did you say the color
Jasper.
was? Jasper. I like the
Woohoo!
minty.
We're gonna
That's
be
the cutest
twins.
one.
Okay, so let's open this together.
I was like, is that a deal? You brought movies? You brought DVDs? And
I
she's
know.
like, no, it's a tripod. And I was like, no way.
Yeah, so we're gonna open the top. Actually, no, I'll hold this for you.
Oh.
I love unboxings with people. So go ahead and tear this part off,
Oh.
and then the bottom.
See if I can do this.
And I'll take this all away so we don't block your hands.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh, there's the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. You brought the stupidest person to unbox.
You're
Okay.
not stupid. Never say
There.
that.
I got it.
Okay.
My new
there you
credit
go.
card.
I know, right? So go ahead and we'll take that out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I take this off.
Mhm. There you go. Perfect. Now I'll hold
Here.
this so you can do this.
And you can demonstrate how
Yes,
to
I will demonstrate.
unfold
like,
this.
This is how you do it. Oh,
It's like
broke.
origami,
I
but
know.
for tripods.
Well, that's what I love about that. Science. I love science. Okay. So not only do you have a scanner in here for adapters, so I use it for your
Whoa.
phone. So if you have your phone with you, we can do that. But if not, no worries. I can just do that
Here,
for
let
mine.
me-
But this is how you custom
I hid it under
fit.
the table.
Okay,
so there you go.
we can custom fit it. So it comes with this like fitted card. So like we can just like put it in each slot until we figure out like which one is the
Whoa.
best fitting, right? And so
I have
I'm
a
like,
quite
okay.
large case. Do you have to take the case off, or is this
No,
like?
you don't have to take the case, as you can see right
Oh,
here.
cool.
So I think yours is the same size as mine, so we need a special adapter. But the good thing is that each one comes with a code, and they'll send it to you absolutely for free.
Oh,
Free shipping
sweet.
too. But it comes with like 8 standardized sizes. So without the case, it probably could fit. But for the sake of just this demonstration, we won't change out the adapters. But so this is like the size of a credit card, and I brought my credit card just so you know that I'm not lying. Although I don't know if I want all the information
Yeah,
out
I was
on
like,
the
don't
world.
no leaks.
Let me just same size as a credit card. See?
As you
As
you have
can
like a
see.
gift card in there. Or
I know, right?
something?
I was like, I have my hotel key, but then everybody's gonna know where I'm staying tonight. But so you just take it and you twist it.
Oh.
It becomes like a little pizza slice, and then you fold these ends up. And then you can put your phone right here, and then it becomes a tripod. And if you want to do what I am doing, you can just rotate it at 90 degrees and pull it apart.
It's like a puzzle.
I know.
It's like a
like
puzzle.
it's like an origami puzzle.
I feel like I would forget how to put it back and just oh there we go.
Yeah. So as long as you like put that together this way, and then you flip it, you can put it back together. But
And if you lose it, you can have 3 more in your wallet, because wallets always have multiple pockets. So I'm gonna have 5 of these. Just
you know,
in case.
I didn't realize how much I needed it, because like even yesterday at the party that I was at, I don't bring my tripod with me. So when I needed to like get social content on my phone, I just put this out on the table, and it's actually a really fun conversation starter. So you can just
It
put
looks
that
like
down.
it could be a weapon. Have you passed through the airport with this?
Yes, I have. I
It
did.
looks like a self-defense tool.
You know, if that helps everyone at home feel safe when they're out at night, just like
Don't come at me.
brandishing their-
I got my tripod card.
Exactly. Especially like this should be in every single woman's wallet too. But it's really cool because once you put the phone in, these actually adjust, so you can adjust it to go down or forward as
Oh.
well. So it's not just like one straight. You have 180 degrees of turn angle on here. So that's what I love about it. But
And
this
this-
one is yours. You can put this in your wallet.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I mean, the branding's on point. Pocket, tripod, pro.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things that describe what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Very on point.
Yeah, and now you can just pull it out of the wallet. And now when people ask you what's the coolest thing you have in your wallet, you can say this now.
This self-defense, not credit card, tripod thing. It's awesome.
I like this rebranding of things.
Gotta sharpen the corners and then make it into a shuriken or something. But yeah, that's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
absolutely. I was like trying to see if there's like comments on here that we can check, because I realized that not only are we having a live in-studio audience, we have people at home. So
So AMA time. Ask me
ask
or ask us
anything.
Q&A time.
Although,
Let's see, what do the comments say?
I think I have to put it this way. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. What was your name?
Oh, thank you.
So I had a question from Melinda. Belinda, oh, thank you for your question. Thank you for being in the live audience. And you know, for asking that question, you get a pocket tripod too.
Yay!
So can you come over here and pick one? Yay!
So she was asking how Nicki, for those at home who are watching, how Nicki got started on Amazon streaming.
You take the red one?
Now we can't decide on
Yes,
colors. They're all
amazing.
very
Well,
cute.
thank you, Belinda, for asking a question. See, when you come to the live stage and ask a question or being involved, you win prizes, okay?
Yay,
so thank you.
participation
And she
medals.
asked how I got started with live stream. To be honest, I had a very awesome opportunity as like just covering tech. And one of my friends, she manages a lot of the top TikTok influencers. And because she's a friend, she's like, you know, you don't have, I mean, I don't have millions of followers, right? So I think it's a testament. You don't have to have millions of followers in order to get started as a Twitch streamer or like Amazon stream. But I really wanted to connect with the audience. I've always wanted to have like a QVC kind of show. And so when the opportunity came to say like, here's Amazon, and you can do whatever content you want in the type of a QVC show, I was like, this is what I've always wanted to have, because I get so many questions about what camera do you use, what's your live streaming gear, and can you imagine like individually always answering those questions? Like, I wish there was a way it can be living on playlist on my page, and then people could just actually get the exact gear that I have. And so when people ask, I'm like, just check out my website, or like, let's go live together. So Amazon live stream kind of happened a little later, towards 2021 for me. And so I just started once, and I just started going every week. In the beginning, I was very, very afraid, because I'm like, this is live. What if I say something wrong? But I think as an experience as a host, like even now, like this is all unscripted. And so I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Obviously, replaying things and listening to your own voice comes with the territory. I don't like it, but that's the only way we can improve. But yeah, if you want to get started, what is a topic that you absolutely love talking about? Just anything. What do you love talking about? Amazing. So can you imagine now doing yoga sessions on Amazon, but then listing your products that you use at the same time, leading viewers into like your yoga poses. So you're also educating them while also supporting your channel. And as a viewer who would want to support that, I'd want to buy from you. I'd want to like get everything that you're doing, because I want to support at the end of the day. So I think it's a really great way to grow your audience live stream, because it's on your time. That's a beautiful thing about live stream. You live stream on your time. If you want to rewatch like a replay, that's cool, but you don't get the live ability to interact and engage with somebody. So with live stream, it's been great. I call them my like Sunshine Squad, because every Tuesday, like my last name is Sun, so like Sunshine Squad, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's like the same people are like in the chat room saying, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, Ricky, hey, Bob, hey, Johnny. And I'm like, it's like we all know each other. And just like you build your audience, I'm sure when they come online, they're like, we're all fans of Jen Pichette, LemonKiwi. And so they're talking to each other while talking with you. It's just such a more engaging thing. So I think that has been the most encouraging. It's like when you start, don't do it thinking that you're gonna hit 1 million followers or you're gonna get paid, because then that will like hinder anybody from getting started. Do it with quality. People are starting to notice now, so I get the heads of like product companies looking to sell their products on Amazon reach out to me and like, hey, can we get our product on your show? We like your show. So I can only imagine once you start with yoga and like all the products that you do with that, it's gonna blow up. I'd also like to invite you to tomorrow's show, because I have 2 professional live streamers who live stream on Amazon as well and other places. They're coming as my guests tomorrow from 11 to 12. But thanks for that question. I hope I answered it. But yeah.
No, that was
Thank
great.
you,
And
Olivia.
especially the best jobs in life are the ones that don't feel like work. So I like that. I like what you said about just taking anything that you're passionate about, because like live streaming, there's literally anything. At least I stream on Twitch. I know you're at Amazon, but at least I know more about Twitch, where there's people doing yoga on Twitch because people don't want to leave their house sometimes to do yoga, whether it's because of COVID or something. I watch yoga on Twitch of a girl showing how to do poses. Now, she might not always have time to answer questions and stuff because she's in mid-pose. I watch people do art on Twitch. I watch people have concerts, you know, DJs and stuff like that. If they don't have an audience to broadcast to, you go live on Twitch. Anyone can go live on Twitch to talk about anything, do anything from art, music, gaming. Twitch has become, has gone away from just gaming to now done all these other hobbies and stuff. And I know they're just now starting to attach products, like at least for Twitch, it's more like, hey, buy the game I'm trying out. So Twitch is more on the gaming side of like, I'll play Elden Ring, for example, and people will be like, you make this game fun, you make this game interesting, and when your passion translates through how excited you are, whether you're talking about the game or playing it yourself, trying out the product, whatever, people feel that passion, and you can tell how genuine someone the excitement is, and they'll either buy the product or try out the game. And I've gotten a lot of people to try out games that they otherwise wouldn't have, because ads and stuff feel a little bit different. People will check out streamers to get that genuine take. And I like that you have an honest channel where you're like, if you don't like something or something can be improved, you'll say that, because people don't want the BS anymore.
Yeah, they don't, and that's the thing. It's like with the whole social media, sometimes it gets to me sometimes, right? I think as like everybody's starting to get their channel or their voice out there, like what could anybody want to hear from me? I only have like 2,000 followers, but actually everything's going towards authenticity. I think we're at a stage now where we could see past that fluff, where I actually get more engagement because my audience is very micro. It's like everybody on my TechNicki Speaking page are all tech fans, all filmmaking fans. So a product or a company trying to reach specifically filmmakers and tech fans, we're a better match than you trying to give it to somebody with like 50 million followers who promotes products every day. So I think just regular everyday people using products like me and you, it's actually a little bit more encouraging and more authentic and engaging. And so I notice, especially now, that a lot of companies want to just work with me. They don't care about my following. They know that when they see my live streams, they're up, and that's your promo. That's the great thing, is that your live streams are up, and people will find you across maybe something you did stream like a year ago. But then they found you, and did you have to reach out? No, it was literally on the interwebs under like major SEO or meta data, and they found you. And it's incredible. Like, I just got like one of the biggest gigs of my life this year, being the red carpet host for Disney and Pixar's Turning Red. I am not represented. I don't have an agent, I don't have a manager, but I have a YouTube page, and I'm sure if you type in host and like API community or like issues or like matters, I'm the first one that pops up. And so when I got that random email saying like, are you interested, we love, I'm like, I literally had this out of body experience. I was like, how did someone like you find someone like me when I'm not represented? And I think, again, with content, it's your content, and I try so hard to protect what I talk about, and it's never been about the money for me, because the moment you feel like you're doing something for the money, it feels so inauthentic, it's weird, and then that's where the whole am I selling out kind of like feeling happens. So I never want to feel like I'm selling out or anything, but I genuinely love tech, and I genuinely love helping people with their setups to make sure that they can do what I do. I'm not gatekeeping anything. Like, I want you to be an Amazon Live show host. I want you to start your own show, because the more of us that are out there, it's just so inspiring that we can have all our own authentic voices out there and be celebrated and appreciated for it. And I think that's what the world needs more.
Yeah, authenticity is very hard to find when it comes to content, because brands are always trying to pay us to sell products that maybe we don't necessarily like, and there's a lot of influencers who are doing that because, you know, we gotta pay the bills, and sometimes you gotta sell stuff you don't like. But what I love about you is that you're giving us the good and the bad and what you're using it for, because that's what you build your community around, is that they like what you're doing, they like your opinions, and they think you're telling us straight, I like this, I don't like this, and I would buy from someone who I think is looking out for me and looking out for my needs. And I think that's why channels like yours are definitely
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. This is why I'll be watching your stream a lot more on Overwatch.
I gotta be her agent. I'm her hype girl. Let's go.
I mean, like, this is amazing. I'm just looking at the time right here. I know, like, we're getting close to it. So before we, like, end, I just want to make sure everybody knows where to find you and what else you're doing on the stage to encourage people to come back to the stage.
Hi. I know everyone calls me Jen or Jennifer Pichette. I'm also known online as LemonKiwi. So a lot of my socials are LemonKiwi _. I cast the Overwatch League. So if you guys ever do watch gaming or esports, overwatchleague.com is where you can find me mostly there. And so Twitter, Instagram, all LemonKiwi _. And I'll be at the NAB Amplify Studio right here all week. Just either doing panels, moderating, hyping everyone up that has their stuff going on stage, and chasing down Nicki wherever she's up to in the convention.
I appreciate you so much for hopping on last minute. I was like, you know, it's my first show. I can talk about gear, but I'd also want to talk about gear while getting to know someone new. So, I mean, we just met today. And so if anything, I hope this encourages you all. This is the first day of NAB Show. Go out there. We've been hidden for 3 years. Do not be afraid. Reach out. Bring out your business cards or your like QR codes. But just connect. This is the place to do it. We've been 3 years too long of like in-person connections. So I feel like everybody is just willing and so ready to connect. So don't be shy. You have like this entire week, and if you need that a little encouragement, Jen and I will be here this entire week. I'll be here specifically from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. every day with new guests. And if you can't catch it in person, we are also live streaming on nabshow.com right now and all the socials. And if you're here, you get to be a part of the live audience. You could also win prizes as well. But that's it for the first show today. Thank you so much for being a part of the first show. My name is Nicki Sun, and I'll see you tomorrow on TechNicki Speaking with Nicki Sun.